When you think of Borderlands, the first thing that comes into your mind is the over-the-top gun gameplay, insane loot drops, chaotic open worlds, and characters that are larger than life. It is a series that's built its reputation on being unapologetically loud, wild, and packed with personality. But let's be honest, the last few releases haven't lived up to that, have they? The pre-sequel felt like a filler, fun in small bursts, but it never did quite capture the magic of Borderlands 2. And while Borderlands 3 did have some good mechanics and an incredible amount of weapons, the story and villains just didn't land in the same way. It left a lot of fans, myself included, wondering if the series had lost its spark. Fast forward to now, and the question has to be asked, is Borderlands finally back to its best? And from what I've experienced, I think the answer is yes. Mostly. Let me explain. What is up, everybody? My name is Harry, and welcome to another Harry's Gaming Thoughts. Today, obviously, we're talking about Borderlands 4, and what an enjoyable experience I've had so far on it. Obviously, you're seeing some footage here in the background of it. I've just beaten one of the bosses. The boss has been really enjoyable, to be fair, and there's even like a little mini something you're supposed to do after you defeat the boss. I'm not going to give too much away. I've hidden, obviously, all the objectives and stuff like that, so you can't see what's going on. But I just think, this game is starting to bring back what it really means as Borderlands. I killed the boss there, and 1,000 weapons didn't shoot out of him. Weapons did come out of him, and they were perfectly balanced for my level. It wasn't, 70 weapons, all with the same sort of shooting, but with just different names. And I think that's where Borderlands 3 fell down. They just tried to do too many weapons. But anyway, let's get back to it. And let's talk about the story and progression of Borderlands 4. One of the best things about this new entry is how the narrative feels like a proper Borderlands adventure again. It's not trying too hard to force memes or drag out jokes until it dies. The writing feels sharper, the characters feel more in line with what we expect from this universe. And the world itself ties the story together in a natural way. You're actually motivated to keep pushing forward because you want to see what happens next. Not just because you want another loot chest around the corner, not just because the game's telling you have to do this, but actively because you want to go and do it. That balance between humour, chaos, and genuine storytelling is something Borderlands 2 nailed, and I'm happy to say it's back here in Borderlands 4. Now, from my playthrough that I'm doing at the moment for you guys on YouTube, playlist will be in the description down below. I'm just focusing on the main story, just to give you guys an idea of what the main story is like. But the amount of stuff that's in the open world, my issue with open world games is they tend to feel quite empty in some areas. Borderlands 4 absolutely nails this. At the point in the game when you're driving between missions, there's loads of stuff going on. There's random enemies fighting each other. There's fortresses, safe houses, side quests. There's just so much going on. And now they've added a new way of traveling around the world where you can just call in your own vehicle on the fly. Is absolutely fantastic. No more you running trying to find a catch a ride system or spending hours and hours and hours trying to get to somewhere. You are literally click of a button, you can jump on it and you can speed off to where you want to go to, and that is an absolutely fantastic addition by them. As I mentioned, the open world, they've really outdone themselves this time. It's not just wide for the sake of being wide. It's full of lives, secrets, encounters, and visual details that make you stop for a second and just take it all in. The environmental design is stunningly. There's different areas you should go through. The start off area is quite bright and colourful. Then when you head up to the northeast, it's all sandy and deserty. And then when you head to the northwest, it's all, snowy mountains. It's fantastic. It's awesome. And it's absolutely beautiful the way they've designed it. Traversal doesn't feel like a grind. Quests aren't just copy-paste best tax. And when you combine that with the sheer variety of locations, it makes one of the best Borderlands playgrounds we've had in a long, long time. They've also introduced a jetpack and a grappling hook. Fantastic additions to the game. No longer you're struggling trying to get up to higher places. You can just jet boost over there. They make battles even fun as well because you can jet boost out of the way and fly around your enemies. Pull off some really awesome kill shots, basically. I mean, I'm trying to do it with sniper rifles at the moment. But it gives you that taste and reward. And as you see in the background here, as you level up and do missions, you get rewards for leveling up. It doesn't just throw 50 weapons at you and then you're struggling going, well, what's going on? It progresses you in a nice, smooth way, and it really does give you that, right, I'm enjoying the experience. I don't have to worry too much about what's going on around me. And as I say, look how beautiful the world looks in and around me. Here, this is one of the main settlements you find as you play through it. it just looks stunning, and the stuff, like the people are interacting with each other, stuff's going on in the world. And here you see the almost hover bike that you get to spawn in. It is such a great addition to the game. And of course, we can't talk about Borderlands without mentioning the guns. The absolute core of the franchise is gun gameplay and loot. It feels like Gearbox have finally recaptured what it makes it so addictive. Every weapon has a unique feel again, not just a stat swap clones. You pick up a new shotgun or a sniper and you instantly want to try it out because the effects are crazy. Jacob's sniper rifles, I'm absolutely loving using them at the moment, because if you get a critical hit, it fires a critical hit off to another enemy. It makes that just so satisfying. Every kill, every shot, it's just so satisfying, and that's why I love this game for that. The firing feels punchy, the variety keeps you experimenting, and this is where Borderlands 3 tried but fell short. It had the numbers, but the personality of the weapons just wasn't there. Now when I pull something out of chest, it feels exciting. It's that classic Borderlands 2 way again of, I'm really enjoying this, I want to try this weapon out, and you know, each time I try a new SMG, I'm like, I'm not quite a fan of this one, I want to go back to my other one, but I'm trying them out just because I'm not given 50, I'm being given one at a time for me to try and find how I want to play. The characters are fantastic. I'm playing as Axon at the moment. His abilities are really cool. You know, you get two basically axes that you carry around with you, and you can throw them like almost Thor's hammer, catch them back to you, and then as you level up, you can change them into swords that fire flame swords. That is so cool. The other characters as well, they're really good. Axon's voice acting, the comedy timing and stuff is brilliant. It is the quintessential Borderlands experience. Let's talk about the endgame and replayability, because this is where Borderlands is at its strongest right now. Once you finish the main campaign, the loop of coming back through with new characters, skipping through to the endgame, and grinding bosses and raids that feel incredibly rewarding. You're not forced to trudge through the entire campaign again if you don't want to. You can jump right into the meat of the action with fresh characters that are leveled up to where you want them to be, and it's such a quality of life improvement. Combine that with a co-op play, and it's endless fun. This is how you keep Borderlands game alive after launch. It feels like Gearbox have finally listened to players what they want in terms of replayability. Now, as much as I am loving the game, and I really am, there's something that I have to pick a gripe with this one, and it's mainly due to because of how well we were treated in Borderlands 2, and it's the main villain, the Timekeeper. Don't get me wrong, he's not bad. They serve their role, they push the story forward, but they just don't hit that same nerve as Handsome Dak did in Borderlands 2. And to be fair, the bar for that is ridiculously high. Jack wasn't a good villain, he was one of the best in gaming histories. He was charismatic, threatening, hilarious, and genuinely hateable all at once. So while the new villain works fine within the context of this game, it doesn't quite give me those classic Borderlands vibes. It's the one area where I feel the new entry still doesn't quite meet the franchise peak. But here's the thing, when I take a step back, it doesn't ruin the experience at all, because the story is strong, the world is stunning, the progression is rewarding, and the guns feel amazing, and the replayability is finally where it should be. For the first time in a long time, it feels like Borderlands has found its identity again. It feels like a Borderlands game in the best possible way. And as I mentioned here, you know, I'm riding around on my bike in the desert air biome now. You know, I've got enemies coming up on me, and I'm thinking, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to drive away from them. You know, days gone where Borderlands 2, 1, you know, where you were just stuck trying to take them on because you didn't have anywhere to go. And they reintroduced characters as well. You know, I'm going to go meet up with Zane now at Jump Pad. You know, there's jump pads around that you can use your bikes to get around. It's just fantastically well designed, this game is. So to answer the question, is Borderlands back to its best? Honestly, I'd say yes. It's not perfect, because nothing will ever top the magic of Borderlands 2 with Handsome Jack pulling the strings. But this is the closest the franchise has come in over a decade. If you've been on the fence because of the disappointments of the pre-sequel and Borderlands 3, I think this one's worth jumping back in for. Gearbox has delivered something that feels like a true return to form. And that's why, for me, Borderlands is back. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think? Have you played the game? Are you enjoying it? I love reading through every single one of it. Obviously, I'm playing through it as well. So if you want to subscribe and watch my playthroughs, I would really appreciate that. And I'll catch you all in Monday's episode of Borderlands 4. Bye-bye, guys.